What up everybody, welcome to the channel. I am your host Mike Fury, and if you guys like informative videos just like this one, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content. And today we're starting off with exploration. Exploration is actually pretty simple. If you just follow this formula, you're gonna have a lot of success. Every single time you make it into this open world, you're gonna have these sections blocked off by these little gates. Like this gate right here at the start of the game is gonna be blocked off. This gate over here might be blocked off for a little bit. You're gonna have a really small, you're not even gonna have the horse, you're gonna be on foot. So what you're gonna do from the very start of the game, on your very first playthrough, I will tell you this, save your money and save the pyroxene that you're getting all the way up until chapter 3. So right now this is a maxed out character, so, and I have obviously been using my pyroxene, and also I don't have any money left, and there's gonna be a reason why I'm asking you guys to do this. So save that up. Make sure to do some of these as well, some of these little random fights as well. Some of them are going to be really cool, some of them are going to be really boring, some of them are just really simple. You just go kill 2 bad guys and that's it. Do them because it's gonna let you know how, like, if you want to get the piece up, the piece is that blue, that different shades of blue and yellow bar right next to the province's name, down in the circle right next to the map. It's gonna let you know, hey, I don't mind grinding this to get the rewards of making the piece, or filling up the piece. And when you do so on the map, it's gonna appear as a blue wave marker. This one is the easiest one by far, the Liang province, because I'm gonna show you real quick. The Liang province is just this little piece of land right here. Just this little piece of land right here. So all you gotta do is do this mission like 5 to 6 to 7 or maybe 10 times. Now, this is also a theory of mine. I do believe that once some of the canon battles leave certain areas and you're no longer gonna have the chance to do them, it's much easier to clear them. I haven't been able to test that yet, but if you guys heard it, you heard it here first. But yeah, that is just this little piece of land, real easy to then do these missions, do just this random quest, and then get the reward, which is gonna appear on the open map marker, or those little checkpoints, that's called. Right? So far on exploration, every single time you open up a new area, one of these gates opens up, the first thing you're gonna do is just you're gonna go around clicking and picking up old coins and pyroxene, and then doing some of the randomly generated quests that pop up on the map. That is gonna be your exploration point. Once you have a good, nice amount, stockpile the pyroxene all the way up till chapter 3. Now let's go on to gems, and there's a reason why I was talking about in your exploration what I want you to focus in on, which is essentially stockpiling cash and stockpiling the pyroxene. Once you reach chapter 3, you're gonna get a couple things thrown at you, a couple different mechanics. Number one being your ability to do gems. Now if you go into your inn, you're gonna from the start, whoops, I'm gonna drop my controller. Almost dropped my controller. Right from the start, you're gonna be able to create gems. Now, the reason why I don't want you to do so is because if you just do it randomly, you're gonna have some success, because obviously all 5 of these are pretty useful to a certain degree. But if you do, but as you see, if I do 2, then it's gonna focus in on 2 if I do whatever amount I do, right? Let's say I do 5, right? It grabbed 2 of those, focusing on 2, added that, and then basically, essentially, it just randomly dispersed. It could give 1 to each, it could focus in on 2. It's completely random, it's RNG completely, right? But then around chapter 3, or midway through chapter 2 all the way up to chapter 3, if I'm not mistaken, by chapter 3 you're going to have the light of the pyroxene, or you saw the light in the pyroxene, and now it focuses in on 2 of them. Now if it's not convenient for you, you don't like these, you could just exit out and lose the effect, right? Or you will also get to the point where you unlock Moongrass. Now, Moongrass is unlocked by participating with our young fellow over here, and once you meet him, then you're very close to unlocking Moongrass, and Moongrass could then be used as a focuser. Now, let's get into basically the differences in gems and what you should be using them. My first playthrough, I played it in regular difficulty because that's how I regularly play. Dynasty Warriors to me is a power fantasy. By the time I finished my first playthrough, statistically, I had over 128,000 soldiers knockouts, right? They're not gonna call it kills, but knockouts, right? That is a lot. So I use it as a power fantasy, so I don't have anything to do with my following point. If you're gonna play this in higher difficulties, the gem setup is gonna look different. So my gem setup, I like the Oblivion gem because I want to rack up as much kills as possible. My range is gonna be really important for that because I want to catch as many people with my slashes and my attacks. It just makes common sense. But if I'm playing in harder difficulty, you're gonna want to do Scorched Gem, you're gonna want to do Wellspring, and then you're gonna want to do Ascendance Gem. Those last three are gonna be fantastic for you. Vortex Gem is very situational because it is for certain classes that actually excel at aerial combat. Yes, there is a thing. Some, I won't call them classes, certain weapons that excel at aerial combat. But then Scorched Gem, every single time you parry, there's not a weapon in the game that you're gonna use that is not gonna have basically a parry system in it because all of them allows you to parry. Boost damage dealt with enemies with parries, basically 33%. You can add to that. Restore 186 health for every 100 enemies you defeat. Again, higher difficulties for survivability. That's going to be extremely important. And then finally, Ascendance Gem activates a 49% chance to automatically block an attack from an enemy officer. This might be super useful, and again, in higher difficulties, because once you beat the game, you even unlock an extra difficulty, but we'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, those are your gems. Once you use Moongrass, it allows you to focus in a little bit more, and then you're able to toss in your certain amounts. It's still gonna do it randomly, but at the end of the day, it's better than having you throw 5 at it and then it spreads 5 and all into, you know, all one to every single gem. Now that we're done with exploration and we're done with gems, let's talk about the meat and potatoes. Let's talk about the different types of battles and engagement you're going to be engaging with, for lack of a better term. Now, the game, let me let you guys know this because I neglected to talk about it in the exploration. In your open world map, you could always check which characters and battles are available to you. So whenever you just hover above any single province, you're gonna be able to see that. So keep that in mind. This is an old file, of course. I wanted to just show you guys the different types of engagements that you're going to be getting into. So obviously, exclamation point lets you know this is a story mission. Then you're going to have these, which are essentially conversations that you're going to be able to participate in. If you let these go by and progress through the story, guess what? You will lose out on building that relationship. Here's the thing about relationships, and just like in real life, some of them are really rewarding and some of them really suck. I can't believe it. I should cut that out, but in reality, that's such a true thing. When you do some of these relationships, the rewards are going to be plentiful. You're going to get different types of battle arts. You're going to get different types of equipment, amulets. You're gonna get something out of them, right? But some of the relationships, and in reality, most of the relationships in this game, you're not gonna get a lot out of them. I've done Wu already, so Wu, there's 3 particular people that you want to talk to so you can get the max in their relationship and therefore get the battle art that they have, which is absolutely awesome. If you don't engage with them, then sadly you're gonna miss out on them, but some of them are really, really cool. So that's the thing about relationships. If you talk to certain people, you'll eventually get max bond, and which is cool for a completionist. If you just want to complete everything, yeah, by all means, you guys are gonna have a blast in it. But other than that, there's not really that much use for it. Now, if you do relationships, you're gonna get 2 possible types of missions. You're gonna get either objectives for you to do in the actual maps, and you're going to get, let me go ahead and skip all of this, and you're going to get requests. And requests are more challenging, different types of missions that you're going to be able to engage with. For example, she wants me to protect her dad from, or protect the emperor, or the would-be emperor, whatever the hell he is, protect him from assassins. Now, this is cool. It's also a little problematic because they're a little fast and they're tanky, and yeah, it's just, it's a pain. But for example, you can then, as you can see, she's right over there. This is, I forgot, I hate the wrong button. But essentially, she will be right over here, and then you can talk to her, and then she'll give you a request. And the request will have a specific type of reward. It just doesn't tell you what freaking reward it is. Oh no, it does. See, as a reward, portable items, incense vitality restores health by 70%. Easy mode, probably not useful. I didn't use it at any point in time, especially me playing on the regular difficulty and the easy difficulty early on. But for that's a lie. I did use it. I used it one time in some of the boss fights. But it's something that is going to be completely useful in harder difficulty. So keep that in mind. But yes, essentially, I'm not going to talk too deep into the different types of battles that you're going to be going into. I'll let you guys figure those out by themselves. But the rewards are what you want. You want the battle arts. You want the enhancement in squads, which we will talk about in a bit. And we're going to talk about battle arts as well. You do want the rewards that come along with some of these relationships. And I'm imagining that if we had 3 people with 3 different types of relationships and we have 9 available weapons on your first playthrough, then I think that each and every single one of those has 3 potential battle art giving relationships that are absolutely fantastic when you finally unlock them. Battle arts are awesome. Battle arts are your special techniques that you get by pressing R1 on a controller and then one of the main keys, the X, Y, B, A keys. Now keep in mind, this is top tier. It's high level. It's high level stuff. The beautiful part about battle arts is that they each have a master ability. So for example, Ascension, which is really easy to do, will have you do 200. Now, in my first brain, at the start of my first brain, I thought, hey, that's 200 enemies, right? No, fam. You got to do that skill 200 times. 200 times. Now, I'm going to just give you guys 2 tricks on that. Number 1, because I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to get into a little quick battle real quick. I have this on an SSD, so it's not going to take too long to load. But on these little quick battles, you're going to start off with a little bit. So remember how it said 200 or 83? Watch. So number 1, you're going to want to just do it as many times as possible. So 1, 2, 3. I was at 84, 5. And it basically drains a bravery point when I do so.
An opening.
Alright, cool.
I can't. The enemy officer has been defeated.
So what you could do, for example, it's not really going to kill him. So look, I got 2 left. I got 2 bravery points left, and I might have just unlocked the last one. But look, you see how it goes complete? I just got a 4 more. So you see basically what I did? If I counted correctly, I must have had at least 10 or 11 times that I did it. So then I go ahead and skip all of this. And essentially now, even though I didn't hit anything on some of those, which I did put it, this is in my tips and tricks or the top 10 things that it doesn't tell you video. But now that I did it 15 times. See how fast that was? Granted, that's the one bravery one. Some of the bigger ones, like for example, Boundless Sunburst, which I've already mastered. This one is, I'm over here spoiling to you guys. Some of the bigger ones, like the Ice Luan, that thing is like 70 times. Like it's problematic. So then there's another trick to that I want to show you guys as well. And it is by far the easiest one. So this is the trick on how to basically get the bigger abilities much faster than usual. Let me go ahead. I think I have the Skyscraper. Yep. This is the one I haven't done. This is an 8 bravery skill, for example. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna use it, and then once you do it, activate your War God mode, because what you're gonna need is basically gonna allow you to do this. And it gives you two charges. Remember, it doesn't matter if you don't kill anything. What matters is the fact that you're gonna get to you're gonna get to the max master skill way faster. And that is essentially how you do it. So right there, you just got to do it 3 times, right? Now you can do this again another time, because it leaves you with enough for the whole entire time. Now, when you're fighting big armies like this, it's gonna be the easiest because you have a lot of enemies to replenish your Musou and your War God gauge, and replenish your bravery. And right there, I'm back at it, so then I get to do it again.
We'll push it on the east and west flanks. If the enemy officer...
Again, I'm extremely broken at this point, so it doesn't matter. Like, I'm one-shotting everything. But yeah, that's essentially battle arts in a nutshell and how to kind of, I won't say cheese it, it's just the way that the game works in this case. So you're, to give you the fast version of it, you're going to use up all your bravery. If it's a big skill like that, which has 8, you're gonna use it, then War God mode, use it 2 more times, and then it's gonna leave you with enough to do it 1 more time, and that's for every single time you get War God mode. Each and every single weapon will have a SP battle art. So SP, as you can see right now, it has the ability to cancel a brave attack or a orange attack. Let's just call it an orange colored attack by the enemy. Now you start off with one, which is a simple one that you get with the sword. But for example, Lu Bu's Halberd has the backup and then grab and toss because you're just a piece of dirty rack to him. Lord have mercy, it's so aggressive. You might find other ones as well. I don't, like for example, Boundless Launch is Lu Bu's, but then I found like Power Shot, where I can stop it with a arrow shot. That's part of the Guardians of Peace's kit. But then, for example, let's go into, I like the spear, the Heavenly Spears one is probably one of the best ones. It is the aerial assault, backflip into the air, and then tosses the spear, and does like this little shining earth effect. I think that's absolutely awesome. But then you also might have a, I think that's the only one for the spear. Yeah, I think that's the only one for the spear. Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, all of them have at least bare minimum 1 that you can take advantage of. Let's see. Oh no, this one has the slash, absconding slash. I think if I pronounce that correctly, absconding slash. Or you can get the ice one, which is the ice power special, where basically you see them do that and then you drop a big ice block and then proceed to destroy everybody around. It's absolutely OP. Of course I mastered those ones. But yeah, that is all for your battle arts. Now, before we go ahead and talk about morality, we're going to talk about squads. Now, squads are very interesting because they are directly tied to morality in a very special way. Now, depending on who you are and how you want to play and what level of difficulty you're playing as, you're going to want to switch this up. I like all damage and I play basically glass cannon. So this is going to be what my squad looks like. Now, squads have a couple of really unique ways. Remember, everything that you do in the game is tied to a specific system. They are tied to missions or random encounters or skirmishes that you will find in the world, not the random white ones. These are going to be very specific ones that come up at the end of specific missions. It's just the way it is. It's just how it turns out, right? And each and every time you do one of these missions, you're going to get added more to your squad. Right now, my squad is at 38. Does that mean that it could possibly go higher? Maybe. I don't know. I just finished my first playthrough, so that is that. Now, you're going to unlock also, when doing these skirmishes, you're going to unlock abilities for your squad to do. Very simple. As you can see, we got Flaming Volley, we got Mountain Charge, and we got Stone Throw. All 3 of these are very tactically placed by me. It's just the way it is. I wanted to have a charge, I wanted a close range attack, and I wanted to have a long range attack in my Flaming Volley. Now, each and every single one of these also has a direct connection to morality, being as if you do them and have a dramatic success, the way that you can tell it's a dramatic success, the camera will zoom in, you'll see this blue explosion pop up, and that's how you know you did a dramatic success. I will show you guys in a bit, in a real battle, how that looks. But positioning is gonna be very important, and essentially what you're gonna do is gonna be very important. So if I do a Mountain Charge, this will lower the courage of the enemy's hit at a distance. That means that I can't be literally right on top of them. It won't work that way. Same thing with volley, hit from high ground. I gotta be perched up on a castle or something along those lines to be able to get a dramatic success. And the same thing with stone throw as well. Now, if you look up, there's gonna be different ones. For example, Spear Wall. This is repels enemy charges and lowers their courage as well. So that is if an enemy has a charge attack and you do Spear Wall, a big amount of the bosses in the game like to use charges, or they'll have different abilities. Guess what? Everything that you can do in the game, they can do it too. They can go into Musou mode. They could go into War God mode. They can have specials. Everybody in this game does exactly what you do, but you just happen to be much better at it than they are. But yes, so now let's go ahead and get into this match, and I'll show you guys exactly what that looks like from a morality standpoint, and then I'll get right into morality. Also, real fun fact, I also put this in my tips. Don't ever take a companion. The companion could be much more utilized fighting other people unless you're having a really hard time at the game. So keep that in mind as well. If I were to do it from the high ground, perfect positioning, high ground, and then you'll get a glimpse of this. And as you can see, when I did that, we got a little buff in terms of essentially what is your morality. And remember, morality, which I haven't talked about yet, but morality is going to be the determining factor if we have a hard time with the enemy as far as health, defense, and their damage. So you see how I immediately get the call to do it. It'll come out in blue, and this one right here is perfect for my rock toss. And then I look down, and I get another boost in. It didn't kill him. Get to jump down and then overkill. I should just press the button.
The enemy officer.
And there you go. So that's how you do dramatic finishes. That is how they're immediately influenced on the battlefield. And now let's talk about morality. Now morality is, like I said, it is the determining factor for the war. It is how the battle is swaying. Usually you start off in a deficit. So you're gonna have to keep an eye on that and do the proper things to be able to do so. So like I said, morality is basically that way that the battle's swaying, and essentially 4 things have a direct impact on morality. Oh my God, they're going fast. 4 particular things have a direct impact in morality. You have essentially killing officers, which is the easiest one to impact morality. Key officers, that is, not any just random officer is going to affect morality in a positive way. You have dramatic dramatic successes with traps, which is essentially your squad's tactics, which are going to be, depending on how you do it and what you read, which skill you're using, is going to be able to be performed at different effects. The mountain charge one is the one that literally attacks.
Take my men with you. Forward march. Face destruction.
The mountain charge affects long distances, so if I won't be able to hit this team because they're way too close. So if I had a little bit of range on them, probably be much more successful.
The enemy officer has been defeated.
And therefore your morality is gonna be in favor. Oh, taking camps, that's another one. That's another real easy one on how to affect the morality of a battle. So taking camps. Oh, and then the last one would be winning duels. When you get duels have probably the biggest effect on them, on morality.
Got you. Take the tie-sheet suit. I will shield your hometown from all my power. Not a single arrow shall reach the castle. I can't believe this. The enemy officer has been defeated.
Oh, there's a triple one right there. So watch this craziness unfold.
The enemy officer still holds been defeated.
There's something completely awesome about that. Oh, I really unlocked Soul Crusher off of that. Wow, that's actually pretty cool. Soul Crusher is Lubu's his weapon, which you don't get until the end of the game, but we'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, so essentially it's gonna look a little bit like that. You're gonna see, you're gonna get a bunch of blue flashes. I own the morality off of that one very tactical play on my end by itself, right? That is morality. And morality makes it just easier for you to fight and kill everybody, yo. It's just much easier to do so. It affects their health, it affects their defense. So literally their chunk of health, their defense, what I say their defense is their ability to to actually tank attacks. So you see how they have the little shields there? You see how it's only at 3? If they're at higher morality, it's much stronger. Some of them are going to be at 2. So keep that in mind. So yeah, essentially, that is morality in a nutshell. Now we're nearing the end of the video. I'm going to cover a few more things that I want to make sure that you guys are well aware of. Essentially, I already talked to you guys about equipment. I apologize. About objectives, essentially how the map works and how it looks when you complete stuff. I've talked about everything. Last few things I'm going to talk about essentially are going to be, I already told you guys that by doing missions and skirmishes, you're going to unlock squads, you're going to unlock the accessories, and you're going to unlock horses and anything else. Portable items you can find in the stores. This is one thing I have not covered. They come in a variety of wealthy gibbets, not playing, and the different effects. They are awesome. They are, depending on what you're doing and what game mode you're playing, you're gonna need the little extra buff or the extra damage or whatever the case may be when you're doing so. But that's another thing that I'm gonna focus in and talk about in another day, and when you should possibly be using the different weapons and items that you're gonna be using. That might be another video. You guys let me know. Smash the like button if you want me to do that video on which battles you're gonna might need to use certain weapons, let's say. Now, we already talked about portable items. Rankings go all the way up to 101. You are unrivaled under the sun. I think that's why they made it 101 in reality on Musou or Musou games. Musou means unrivaled. Right now, when I finished the game, I was around maybe a few levels under 60. Keep that in mind. You'll have 8 levels. On the 8th level, it will give you their best attack for each and every single weapon. Obviously, there's 10 weapons. In reality, you only have 9 until you beat the game, which then you unlock the halberd, which is Lubu's weapon. We will talk about more on that in a little bit, on how you can possibly get that. But yeah, essentially, each one of them has different proficiencies, and then they all get up to level 11 if you want to max them out. Skills are another one. Skills are heavy dependent on what type of difficulty you are playing in. If you do it like me and you're playing in the regular or the easy mode, let's call it, or I think it's called historical. If you're on those levels, don't worry about it. Like, just do whatever you want to do. That's what essentially I did. But then if you're like in the higher difficulty or in just mid difficulty and you're having a hard time, or Wayfarer, I think is what it's called, the mid difficulty. When you do so, just make it so it's more inclined to survivability. So for example, let's look at the first one. The defense is gonna help you a lot more than the attack will, because at the end of the day, this is a Musou game. You are gonna be destroying a lot of things, right? So aim at survivability. Same thing with your accessories that you're gonna be able to find and things of that nature. More health, more defense, things like that in the higher difficulty are gonna go a longer way than actually, because you could always parry. I think I'm very offensive minded in that sense, so I'm just thinking about, oh, I could always catch him with a parry. I don't need a block necessarily. I could always just parry, and then call it a day. But yeah, back to the original point. Skills, you have, once you finish it, you're gonna have a total of, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 7 different categories. This last one right here, I have not unlocked yet, but as you can see, I have basically gathered each and every single skill. So don't worry about the skill points. That's all I gotta say. You'll eventually end up with an excess of skill points. I'll be real honest with you guys. We talked about squads. So now, there's gonna be a few more things that we're gonna talk about. And these are the last few things. We're gonna talk about the peace and old coins. So the peace meter, the peace mechanic, every single area, as you can see, G province is almost completed at fully peace, and then I go into silly and it's not. Each and every single time you do one of these, it will give you a bunch of pyroxy, it'll give you a bunch of money, and it'll give you a bunch of old coins. The old coins can then be seen or used to get another reward, and they're really only used for that. That's why I said at the start of the game, you're gonna explore first and see where all the old coins are in the map before you start doing missions and stuff. Just collect all the old coins and all the pyroxy and stockpile them. Nothing's changed. But essentially, you're gonna have this little Suji's or whatever, however it's pronounced. Shui Jing retreat, and then here the old coins are gonna allow you guys to basically unlock this list of rewards. And the more coins you do, the more peace you broker in each and every single one of these regions, the more old coins you're gonna get. I think the max one will give you 20. So if you just stack them up, you'll eventually be able to get 500. And if you do multiple playthroughs as well, you'll eventually get there as well. So yeah. The best one about this are going to be the Amulet of Merit and the Amulet of Means. I believe it's either the Amulet of Means that allows you to get more weapons, 100% enhances your damage, but then it takes off the weapons. I have the Amulet of what is it called? The Amulet of Fortune, which enhances my rewards. So that it's usually meaning by 50%. So that means it's more money and more what's it called, and more, what is it called, more money and more, if I'm not mistaken, it's more skill points as well, if I'm not mistaken, but it might just be more money. So now that we've covered that, and you're gonna want to use the Amulet of Means, get to 100 as soon as possible, because the Amulet of Means is gonna allow you to take advantage of what is now the final point that we're gonna talk about, and we're right at the end of the video, is basically New Game Plus or your post content. Now, the post content is comprised of a couple of things. Number one, we already talked about them, the 3 levels added to the proficiencies of each weapon. So 9, 10, and 11, that's added. The brand new True Musou rank, that's added. If you go on to your configurations, Hero is the hardest difficulty. It's hard. So as you can see, Hero comes with a certain amount. Hero difficulty is designed for those who are confident in their action game abilities. Yes, okay. Enemies are more aggressive and have more powerful attacks. Blocking enemies depletes bravery. That's a real big thing. That's why I'm telling you guys, certain things just belong in certain difficulties. Enemies, and I love the fact that they added this as well. Enemies attack simultaneously more often, so yes, they are going to be much more organized. And then the last bit was the timing of parries and perfect evades must be more precise, so it's not as friendly as it is in easy and in Wayfarer mode. Battles between armies are decided more quickly, so you got to be able to move fast and get on that horse. Enemies do not drop meat buns, so you have to go into bases and get the meat buns. Keep that in mind. And then finally, skill points and gold in battles are significantly increased. Cool. And then you get to Ultimate Warrior mode. Now, Ultimate Warrior mode is actually a pretty awesome thing, because Ultimate Warrior mode allows you to, it does this quick little thing, and I'm gonna show you guys. So this is for the masochists. This is the true Musou lovers. These are the people who can't live, like, you know, you like to get abused a little bit, like you wear a belt around your neck just in case when you're intimate. I apologize. Oh my God. But yeah, so they're gonna unlock something very particular. So they're going to unlock challenges in certain maps. So I'm trying to hurry up and get past this. So here we go. And this is gonna be the challenge. Right here, you're gonna see it as soon as in Ultimate Warrior mode, you're gonna go up to it, obviously fight. You see in the bottom right hand corner. Oh no, I'm covering the bottom right hand corner. Let me see if I can move me. Move me just real quick for you guys. There you go. So challenges: defeat 100 enemies within 10 minutes. In this difficulty, the reward will be Blazing Sun Wheels. Again, if you don't want to buy the Blazing Sun Wheels, or the Blazing Sun, then you'll do this. And if you want to complete the mode, by all means, I have a friend named Nick. He loves this type of stuff. So yeah, post-game content, there you go. Have a blast. I'm not gonna be doing it. As I told you guys before, this is a power fantasy for me. I do not play this to prove anything. I don't gotta prove anything to any of you guys. But yeah, there is a reason why I started off this video telling you guys that you had to stockpile your money and stockpile your Profiency. I already informed you guys on what to do with the Profiency in chapter 3 and how you get the most benefit out of that. But the money is because of one particular thing, and this will be the last point I talk about today. And this will give you guys everything you guys need to know for the future. So a lot of people will tell you, oh, just reforge is also going to be something you unlock. You're basically going to grab, let's say, the best. So you're going to be able to grab certain weapons and then be able to reforge them into, so I'll give you guys an example. Reforge traits. And you could grab something like this. Let's grab the one with the most. So you can reforge power, and then you can like take the power away from some of them. So reforge power, all weapons use materials will be lost. And now all of a sudden I'm at 16, right? Reforge power. And now I'm at 18. So you're basically taking the power. But if you reforge materials, reforge traits, I apologize. You could do, okay, gain bravery boost while parry. So no, we could do that and attack, 10 by attack. Let's just do one just to show you guys. And then look, I hadn't even done it yet. But because I don't see the need in that, because I already got the most powerful weapon in the game, which I could always make it stronger. But anyways, we continue. The reason why I was asking you guys to stockpile all of your money was because of this. Do you see the amount of zeros on that? Do you see how much cash I have right now? I have 8,527. You know why I have that much cash? It's because I spent it all on this bad boy. This weapon is Lubu's weapon. The only way you can possibly get this is by buying it now. Now, that is what has been said. I just found one in doing this video. I'll show you guys. In the map, because I don't have enough money to actually buy a second one. So I don't know if it's buying it the first time that then activates it so you can find it, or it's just by luck of the draw and you guys can possibly find out. Let me know down in the comment section below. But yes, 400,000 money, dinero, cash, you will need to be able to purchase the weapon that is an absolute beast of a weapon, and it's fantastic. And it, again, ultimate power fantasy. Ultimate power fantasy. But yes, that is it for your ultimate Dynasty Warriors Origins guide. I have covered everything. If you have more questions, if you have any concerns, if you have anything, like anything at all, let me know down in the comment section below. But as for me, I'm your host, Mike Fury. Links are down in the description below. $1 a day keeps the landlord away. Check out the YouTube membership and the Patreon. Until next time, Mike, off.